Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of No Thank You. Last time, Hero's cute twink friend that kind of looks way younger than him was asked us to help his brother out. I can't exactly remember what, but we're gonna find out. Hopefully we can get to some kind of scene soon. How long does it take in this game to get to your first scene? I just want to get to the first scene so I can be disgusted by it, make fun of it, and move on with my life. Like, I don't know. The bar hasn't closed yet, but I'm done for the day. It's time for me to go home. I'm going to leave after I clean the kitchen, but I want to go home with someone. What should I do? Well, obviously we're going home with Hiroshi. Alright, I'll go home with Hiroshi. I walked through downtown with Hiroshi just before dawn. I wonder how many times we've gone home together like this now. Okay, do we do this every day? We get off work at the same time, so we usually go home together. It's been about 5 times now, or more? It's almost 3 AM, so as you might expect, most places are closed. Occasionally, though, guys from similar food and drink establishments would call out to us. But too bad for them, we're going home to sleep. Today was a lot of fun, but I'm tired. It was really fun, though.
そういえば、ヒロシ、今日さ、お姉さんに美味しかったって言われて嬉しそうだった。
そりゃ嬉しいだろ。誰に言われても嬉しいよ。
Also, Hiro has been calling us out for being gay, I think, a couple times. He's tried to call us out for it, but he's been too embarrassed to say it. Hiroshi did an unusually good job at playing it cool this time, but unfortunately it backfired. Normally Hiroshi would just be happy about it, but I think his failure to follow through in the end on that is really cute too.
ヒロシはああいうタイプ好きそうだよね。
She's not so much beautiful as cute. Plus she's cheerful, refreshing, and obviously a good person. Also, her boobs are huge. I bet Hiroshi likes the kind of dangerous air about her too. I think she's a good type for him while she has a husband.
年上だし人妻だから。
でもいいなって思ってたでしょ。
まあ、ちょっとは。あ、でも望月には言うなよ。
Yeah, I know better than to do that. At least, worry not, my friend.
お姉さんおっぱい大きいねとか言ったら殺されそうだね。
マジでやめろよ。あいつリュウさんほどキャパ広くねえからな。
Good point. It's easy to piss Ryu off, but he's an adult after all. I guess he puts his pride before his feelings with Bandage Guy. With Bandage Guy, it's the opposite. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Hiroshi seems to know that all too well.
お姉さんには仲良くしてねって言われたけど、正直無理そうだよね。
そうだな。俺なんか初日に言われたからな。
なんで？
あいつの方が俺よりキャリアは長いし、年も一つしか違わないから、別に敬語使わなくてもいいって言ったらさ。
それでも一応先輩ですから。それと俺、はっきり言って秋山さんみたいなタイプ苦手です。職場で慣れ合う気とかないんで。
But a frigid ice queen.
だって。
おお。
Man, Bandage Guy, you're good. You got Hiroshi, who's a veritable ball of positivity, to say something so harsh. Though on some level, I can't blame him for not being crazy about that excessive positivity of his. Hiroshi's a nice guy by nature, but he's not really pushy or full of himself. At the very least, he seems like an effort not to be like that. He's always very careful to read the situation. I think it'd be hard for the average person to dislike him. But for people who prefer to be left alone like Bandage Guy and Ryu, I can see how they'd find him annoying. That's probably why he said he's not good with people like Hiroshi instead of saying he hates him. I guess Bandage Guy isn't so bad after all.
でも、仕事はちゃんとやるし、悪いやつじゃないから、必要以上にベタベタしなければ大丈夫だろ。うまくやっていければ一応、仲良くしてることになるんじゃないかな。っていうかお前、抱きついたりするなよ。
But he's the
その分
cutest guy
ヒ
in
ロ
the
シに
shop.
するから。
He's literally the cutest.
いや、俺も勘弁してほしいんだけど。
Are you allergic to homosexuals? What's wrong with it? Well, actually, Haru seems bisexual from the things he says, but... Are you allergic to bisexuals? Because you look like a bisexual with that shirt on.
それは無理。
I've said it 100 times. Hiroshi looked at me with an annoyed expression at my prompt response, and then sighed like he'd given up. I know how this sounds coming from me, but sometimes I worry about Hiroshi. Shouldn't you be a little bit more angry about that?
あっち。今夜も熱帯夜だな。
Hiroshi tugged at the collar of his t-shirt. In another hour it'd be light out, and the sweltering night would be more of a sweltering morning. Why is it hot during night? What?
あれ
Someone walking around ahead of Hiroshi caught his eye. Seems like they noticed him too.
Yo.
Ew.
ヤマトと達也さんもお疲れ様です。
Hiroshi bowed briskly.
ああ、お前はもう上がりか。
はい。最近いろいろあってシフトが変わってて。
There was a bearded man wearing a full suit despite the heat, and on the opposite end of the spectrum a blonde guy in a tank top. They're both huge. The pair seemed like a high-ranking Yakuza and his right-hand man in training, but Hiroshi was talking to them like they were pretty close, and he seems kind of happy.
そいつが新入りか。
Oh, he's talking about me. Yep,
あ、
that's
は
me.
い。いろいろあって新しく店に入りました。名前は
春です。よろしくお願いします。
The blonde guy was showing a lot more skin, but the bearded man seemed so much sexier. Ugh. Oh, he smelled faintly of cologne and was making me unusually horny. Is cologne's making you horny? Nasty. Neither of them. They're both disgusting. I think I'd be in trouble if I touched him. If I just went ahead and stuck my finger up his ass, I might get in trouble. I better put a little bit of distance between us. What the hell's wrong with you, Haru? Can we just get with Hero and stop with all this weird shit?
俺は東條だ。こいつは俺の部下の神崎。職場がこの辺りなんでな。たまに会うこともあるだろう。うん。
よろしく。
Blondie's got a pretty nice body. He's not quite as buff as Maki-chan, but he's got some muscle on him. I put both hands on his well-tanned arms. What the hell?
なんだてめえ。頭湧いてんのか。
いい筋肉だ。
ああ、悪いな。ちょっと変わってるんだ。初対面の人間に気安く触るな。
はい。
The bearded man had a nice bulky body too, but I'm gonna go with the look, don't touch policy with him. I'd be in trouble if I touched that body of his, yeah, I bet. I bet if he took off that jacket, his shirt would be damp with sweat and clinging to his muscles. Gross. A sexy combination of sweat and cologne was wafting off his body. I just started imagining things. That was close. The bearded man's really sexy, so I'm gonna call him Pheromone Aniki. What the hell's wrong with you?
変なもんばっかり拾って、相変わらず物好きなおっさんだな。お前も人のことは言えねえだろうが。いや、俺はここまでアホじゃねえでしょ。どうだかな。
Blondie gave him a look like, wow, harsh. They seem close.
そういえば、この間怪我したやつはどうなった？
望月ですか？多分そろそろ復帰すると思います。再来週くらいですね。
そうか。
知ってるんですか？
ちょっとな。店はまだ開いてるか？
はい。マキさんがいますよ。
そうか。じゃあまたな。
はい。
Aniki gave me a light nod and walked off with Blondie and
Tao.
ああ、まあ、うん。達也さん、スーツ着てた方の人はうちの店の常連で、俺のじいちゃんの知り合いで、俺が外野で働くことになったのも達也さんの紹介なんだ。オーナーとマキさんとも知り合いみたいで。ヤマトは店に来ることは少ないけど、俺と地元が一緒でさ、友達ってほどじゃなくて知り合いっていうか、二人とも要するにヤクザだから、いい人って言うと違うけど。
ヒロシは好きなんだ。
まあ、うん。俺もいろいろ世話になったし、悪い人じゃないと思ってる。
そっか。
And so Hiroshi and I chatted as we walked home together at a leisurely pace until our routes parted ways. Hiroshi seemed to guess that I hadn't remembered their names and tried to get me to memorize them, but it's kinda hard to call Aniki Mr. Tojo, so I'm just going to stick with Aniki.
ただいまー。
I turned on the AC when I got back. I humped as I turned off my clothes, took a shower, and flopped into bed. Today was so fun. That lady came by again, and I got to meet some new people too. Hiroshi was so cute too. I hope I have fun tomorrow too. Good night, too. Seriously though, Haru is starting to actually grate on my mental well-being. I did some exercise, took a shower, and took a break in my cool room. Slang like this is pretty interesting, or maybe fun's a better way to put it. Either way, I like it. I did my laundry, got dressed, and haphazardly tied up my damp hair as I headed for the door. Where should I go today? Is it a day off? I saw a familiar figure in the lobby just down the stage where the mailboxes are.
こんにちは。
Or should I say good morning?
ん?
No, it's that guy again.
ああ、こんにちは。君はソタノのハルくんだったよね。仕事にはもう慣れた？
うん、だいぶ。
The mailbox he was peeking at had Pops' room number on it. He was acting 100% shady, but he greeted me without hesitation. He's got some serious balls.
君、ここに住んでるの？
そうです。びっくりした？
He looked astonished, so I figured I'd ask.
だね。ちょっと驚いたかな。オーナーと同じマンションに住んでるなんて、偶然じゃちょっと片付けられないよな。
偶然じゃないし。
じゃあどうして？
俺は覚えてないんだけど、なんかおっさんが車にひかれそうになったのをかばって俺がひかれたんだって。それで記憶がないから、おっさんが住むところとか働くところとかお世話してくれてる感じ？
Even if I did save him, he's a really nice old dude.
記憶喪失か。名前も年も自分が住んでた場所も覚えて。
はい。
名前はどうしたの？ハルくんだったよね。
みんなにつけてもらったから。
It's nice to have a name.
なるほどね。
Boon Boon said, looking me up and down. I feel like I just got an X-ray.
俺も名前聞いていい？なあ、でも俺人の名前なかなか覚えらんなくて。名刺とかある？
いいけど。ああ、じゃあ代わりにってわけじゃないけど、君の携帯の番号教えてもらえるかな？
携帯。
Oh, I forgot it in my room.
今取ってくるからちょっと待ってて。総営社実話ヘブン編集部記者。
I don't know why he needs our phone number. He's gonna... I don't know what he's gonna do with it.
そう、男性向けの実話系ゴシップ誌のライターでね。
はあ。
Kazuki Oikawa. Where did I get Boon Boon from? I don't know, but I like it, so I'm gonna keep calling him Boon Boon.
ブンブンって呼んでもいい？
ああ、いいよ。
Oh, he's got a pretty tender smile. Maybe he isn't a bad guy.
これから店？
すぐにじゃないけど、いろいろ探検したり、ご飯食べてから。
そっか。オーナーは最近顔出してる？
The owner? Oh right, Pops. He's looking at his mailbox.
おっさんのことが好きなの？ストーカーさん？
You know, like Takun? For a second, Boon Boon gave me a look like he didn't know what I was talking about, but he glanced at the mailbox and laughed.
確かにストーカーの定石だ。だけど違うんだな。さっき名刺渡しただろ？
記者さん。
そうそう。まあ、つまり、そういうこと。
What does he mean?
まあ、またお話ししようね。それじゃ。
Boon Boon left.
いっか。
I'll go out for now. I've still got time until I need to be at the bar, so I'll stop by a convenience store and wander around some. It's a crow. It looks like the same one as last time. How can you possibly tell the crows apart? Is it the person himself? Or Crow himself? Anyway, it's the same one.
またお前？もしかしていつもいるの？
I squatted down and it came over to me. Were you waiting for me?
よし、じゃあって。
Huh. I thought I just bought some snacks at a weird store. It had all sorts of foreign foods and coffee and stuff. Yeah, I did buy some mysterious foods and snacks and stuff. But I don't have anything with me. What?
どっかに忘れてきちゃったみたい。
What the hell's wrong with him? Okay, and the Greater Crow has made its appearance. Is it here to pick up the little baby crow? Seriously, the eldritch fucking crow from Lord of the
そ
Rings.
んな顔
I don't
す
know.
るなよ。そうだ。
I thrust my hand into my pants pocket and pulled something out.
じゃーん、最強のサバイバルフード、羊羹。いざという時のためにポケットに入れといたんだ。これも豆だから。食べる？俺も半分食べとこ。
I gave half of the bean jam to the crow, and 2 of us chowed down under the blazing sun. It's sweet, but this sweetness can really be a lifesaver in a pinch.
ごちそうさま。じゃあね。
I waved to the crow and left.
おはようございます。
おはよう。今日も暑いから着替える前に掃除しとけよ。
はーい。
I grabbed the cleaning stuff and headed outside. The crow was already gone. I got my cleaning done and quickly went back inside.
お疲れ。
うん。あと、カラスがいなかった。
カラス？ああ、この前も話してたやつか。
そう。
いなくなってよかったじゃん。ずっと店の前にいられたら、お客さん来ないから追い払わなくちゃいけないし。
It's a crow. Who's gonna see a crow standing in front of a building and they're gonna be like, oh, I can't go there. I can't. I'm too afraid. Like, what? It's a crow. What, hello?
そっか。
It's a crow, not a rat. Crows just fly off if you get near them. I guess the crow's a nuisance. The crow probably sensed the situation and left before it got chased off. Alright, well, I don't know what's wrong with you, Haru. We opened shop like usual. Ryu was handling the customers with his usual flawless businessman smile and smooth talking, and Hiroshi was hard at work. Maki-chan was hiding in the kitchen, occasionally making delicious food. Basically, I didn't have any opportunity for sexual harassment. Okay, so he's just out here saying that I'm committing crime. Okay, if I tried anything, they'd probably get really mad at me, so I decided to behave. If I commit big R, they'd probably be super mad at me, so I decided not to do it. Oh, a customer. Ryu was bringing him over to the counter.
こんばんは。
Hey, sexy twink. Oh, Hiroshi's friend.
いらっしゃいませ。
こちらへどうぞ。
Ryu guided him to the counter. Ryu said a few words to Hiroshi quietly enough that his friends couldn't hear and then had left immediately.
こっちに案内されたけど、いいのかな？なんだかごめんね。
大丈夫。問題ないから。
そっか。じゃあ。
Hiroshi's friend took a seat at the counter.
乾さんの更新所に行って無事に契約してきたよ。一応というか紹介してもらったし報告しに来たんだ。
そうか。うん。ありがとう。そうだ。酒飲める？何か飲むか？
あ、じゃあおすすめとかある？僕こういうところは初めてで。
そうだな。
Looks like Ryu decided to let Hiroshi serve his friend. They continued their restrained chat, both of them sensitive to the atmosphere.
飲みやすいところだとモスコミュールとかソルティドッグだけど、夏だしおすすめはモヒートかな。
モヒート？
ラムベースのカクテルでライム、ソーダ水、砂糖、ミントの葉で作るんだ。さっぱりしててうまいよ。見た目も夏向きだし。でもミントとかハーブ系が苦手なら他のがいいかな。
じゃあそれでお願いできるかな、モヒート。
かしこまりました。
Hiroshi nodded and then glanced over at Ryu for approval. Ryu gave him a subtle nod in return. I've already seen this scene play out a number of times. Hiroshi checks with Ryu when a customer orders a cocktail he doesn't usually make, or isn't supposed to make yet, to decide which of them will make it. Looks like Hiroshi got the okay today. Hiroshi tried to act like everything was normal, but he couldn't hide how happy he was. Girl, you're just making a cocktail! He's so cute.
あ、それから何かちょっとだけおつまみになるものを頼めるかな。あまりお腹にはたまらないものでお願いできる？
そうだな。ちょっと待って。
I was just vibrating behind the counter with his dick out, just like, I have a little snack for you. Don't tell me he isn't. He is that kind of freak. Hiroshi vanished at the kitchen and returned right away.
モヒートに合うつまみ、すぐに用意できるから。その間にお飲み物をご用意します。
Ooh, he switched into formal speech. He's in bartender mode. Hiroshi got some mint out of the fridge. He set the leaves in his palm and struck them gently. When he noticed his friend's curious gaze, Hiroshi explains.
こうすると、あまり潰さないでも香りが出るんですよ。
そうなんだ。面白いね。次はどうするの？
Hiroshi continued to explain as he made the mojito in response to his friend's casual prompt.
次は、タンブラーにミントの葉と砂糖とライムを入れます。
He gently squeezed lime sections into the glass, adding only the juice.
次にラムを入れて、ちょっと押しつぶす感じで、ミントとラムをなじませます。そして氷。よく混ぜて、グラスとラムを冷やします。最後にソーダ水を静かに入れて、炭酸を飛ばさない程度に軽く混ぜます。
Hiroshi mixed the drink with a long metal spoon. He stirred it several times, watching it for just the right moment, and pulled the spoon out. Finally, he garnished the drink with a sprig of mint. Looks like he's done.
お待たせしました。
Hiroshi set the mojito in front of his friend.
ありがとう。
Ryu seemed to have been waiting for the right moment to appear and set a plate of food down on the inside of the counter. Hiroshi bowed his head lightly and presented it to his friend.
カポナータ。夏野菜の炒め煮です。うまいよ。
本当だ。すごく美味しそうだし、どっちも綺麗な色だね。
The refreshing green of the mojito and vivid red and gold of the food was beautiful.
いただきます。
Hiroshi's friend drank the mojito slowly while savoring the food.
美味しい。
ミントをさ、あんまり潰さないように作ってみたんだけど、どうかな？もうちょっと強くてもよかった？
いや、このくらいがいいかな。
そっか。材料が同じでも、作り方とか好みで全然味が違ってくるのがカクテルの面白いところっていうか、奥深いんだ。一応店の味みたいなのはあるんだけど、それをお客さんの好みに合わせたり、合わせなかったりするのがプロのバーテンダーの仕事で、俺はまだまだ見習いっていうか。だから、本当はこういう加減が難しいカクテルは普段は作らないんだけど。
え？でもすごく美味しいよ。飲みやすいし。あと、料理もすごくカクテルに合ってると思う。
Hiroshi's friend said earnestly, tipping the cocktail glass.
秋山くんはすごいね。
いや、そんなことないって。まだまだ半人前だし。
自分の道を自分で決めて、偉いなって。
Gay.
まあ、そう言われるとすげえ照れるけど、ありがとうございます。
どういたしまして。
He emptied his glass while they chatted.
もう一杯くらいどう？もしよかったらだけど。
そうだね。もう一杯だけいただこうかな。これと同じものでお願いします。
God, it is so weird how he's just holding his hand to his chest like that.
了解。でも、同じものだったら。
Hiroshi walked over to Ryu. Ryu nodded and smiled at Hiroshi's friends. Looks like Ryu asked him to make the second one. Ryu coolly and briskly made a mojito. The general procedure was pretty similar, but the details seemed a little different.
お待たせいたしました。
Hiroshi's friend took a sip of Ryu's mojito.
本当だ。作る人によって全然違うんだね。
そんなに違う？
あ、もちろん秋山くんが作ったのもこっちもどっちも美味しいんだけど、飲んでみる？
Hiroshi looked at Ryu. Ryu nodded. I guess he got the okay.
じゃあ、ちょっとだけ。
Hiroshi took the glass from Soroto and took a sip.
ああ、やっぱリュウさんのがうまいよな。
そんなことないよ。両方とも美味しかったよ。
そっか。うん。ありがとう。
Hiroshi's friend was gradually getting more comfortable. They do say it's impossible to be in a bad mood when you got delicious food and drink in front of you. I guess Hiroshi's friend is no exception. I felt like the atmosphere between the two of them had started to soften up a bit as well. I'm glad, Hiroshi. When he finished the second mojito and most of the food, Hiroshi's friend got up from his seat.
ごめんね。全部食べられなくて。ちょっと食欲がないんだ。
そっか。じゃあ今度は夏バテに効くメニューとか出してもらえるようにするよ。厨房にいる人、マキさんって言うんだけど、すごいうまいもの作れる人でさ。だから、また来てくれよな。
うん。ありがとう。
Hiroshi's friend's expression relaxed a bit. Hiroshi's friend politely declined Hiroshi's offer to make it on the house. Then he paid for his food, drink, and left. Probably because there weren't any customers at the moment, Hiroshi bowed his head to Ryu.
リュウさん、ありがとうございました。
Ryu didn't say a word, he just silently gave a little nod. He's so cool, he is not cool. I slid over to Hiroshi on his way back to the counter.
ヒロシ、楽しそうだった。
ああ、うん。楽しかったよ。でも、五十嵐はすごい気配りの人だよな。あんなに俺のこと褒めなくてもいいのに。
ヒロシ、あんまり褒められ慣れてないっぽいもんね。
確かに。昔の知り合いに褒められるのは嬉しいかもな。
The way he said that and smiled, it made me feel kind of close to him. It made me happy too. I see. Happiness begets happiness. I somehow have a suspicion that the first sex scene won't be for like 3 hours. Several days later, Hiroshi and I were alone in the bar before we opened. I was cleaning and Hiroshi was getting the ice ready. Hiroshi kind of spaces out at times like this. Of course he's always focused when we're open, but his mind seems elsewhere when we're getting ready, after we close or when we're walking home together. It's all because of his friends. It had been about a week since he showed up here. We hadn't heard anything from him since, so he probably thinks something happened to him. But Hiroshi's friend is really busy, and a week can go by so fast. Hiroshi knows that too. And it's also plenty of time to have a change of heart. In other words, I'm pretty sure Hiroshi's overthinking things, but I'm also pretty sure that Hiroshi knows what he's doing.
Akiyama! お前もだ。
Ryu came out of the office and called Hiroshi and me in. It's pretty unusual for him to ask for me. I wonder if it's about unofficial work.
依頼だ。
Is Maki-chan gonna start explaining things to us? I thought, but then Ryu jumped in. Maki-chan. As usual, Ryu explained without missing a beat. The client is Soroto Igarashi, Hiroshi's friend. The job to find his runaway brother. More specifically, Hiroshi's friend's brother, Rikun, ran away from home. If he'd just done it of his own accord, it wouldn't have been a problem, but he wants us to bring him back because he seems to be in trouble. And that's that. So Hiroshi's friend was a little brother. The little brother talked to Pops, made a contract with his detective agency, and the agency did the preliminary investigation. Upon investigation, it seems they discovered that the older brother was doing something in a one-room apartment.
マンションの契約者は素行の良くない人間。要は町のチンピラだ。状況から見て違法行為の作業現場になっている可能性が高い。
Huh. The enemy is another Burdock Brigade, huh? Oh my god.
五十嵐陸斗が法に触れる作業に加担しているとして、それが具体的に何なのか。そして、ただ連れ戻せば解決する案件なのかを見極めるために、部屋に侵入して詳しい調査をする。これが俺たちの仕事だ。
He said it like it was something totally normal, but effectively we're breaking and entering. This is exciting.
五十嵐の兄貴がいる場所は調べがついてるんですね。
Maybe the reason Haru is so annoying yet so familiar to me is because, honestly, tell me that Keitaro and Haru don't have the same energy. Try to tell me they don't, because they do. They do. Keitaro's extremely horny too. Just randomly, he just gets horny for no reason. So, and he's also stupid. Just like Haru. So honestly, they could be brothers. They could be brothers. Ryu nodded in response.
場所の特定は済んでいる。間取りや人の流れも更新所の方で調査済みだ。だいたい午前中が手薄になる。無人になることはまずないようだ。手薄になるタイミングで忍び込んで室内を調査すること。注意事項としては、五十嵐にはまだ接触しないように。五十嵐が何をやっているのかはっきりするまで、こちらの目的が彼だとは悟られたくない。
俺たちが勝手に助け出したのに、兄貴が俺たちを連れ込んだとか、何か喋ったとか疑われて、後で襲われる可能性もありますもんね。
懸念はいろいろある。危険を避けるためにも、最初の侵入では五十嵐には触れるな。以上だ。
あ、すみません。ちょっといいですか？
Hiroshi gently raised his hand.
なんだ？
オーナーの方は大丈夫なんですか？
It's true that we haven't made any progress in the case of his attack.
少なくとも動きはないし、俺たちが動けるような情報もない。
わかりました。
Hiroshi's worried about all sorts of stuff. Then returning to the original subject, Maki-chan and Hiroshi were designated as a team to carry out the mission. They'd be going tomorrow, so it seems like they'll be going home early today. Must be hard making the official and unofficial stuff work together. Anyway.
俺はダメ？却下？
お前はまだ店に入って日も浅いし、不法侵入はちょっと無理があるって。あ、でもそれだと、俺とマキさんが早めに上がるから、今日はハルとリュウさんが最後までいるのか。
I don't want to close with Ryu.
仕事だ。
Oh, he said that so easily, but I can totally tell that he means he wouldn't even want to breathe the same air as me if it weren't for work. Nice. I don't mind watching the shop with Ryu, but I kind of want to do stuff with Maki-chan and Hiroshi too. What should I do? Maybe I should tell them I want to go, or should I just stay put? If I stay here, Pops might come by, yeah. I want to go too. I don't want to be here with Pops and Ryu. They're the worst. I want to try going too.
俺も行きたい。
Why would I want to stay? Like, apparently, they're actually gonna go do something. Why would I ever want to stay at the bar and do nothing? Even if I did like Ryu and Pops. It's just like, they're actually doing something exciting. Huh, I thought I'd get shot down right away, but surprisingly he didn't respond immediately. After a moment of silence, Ryu shot Maki-chan a glance. Didn't I do well on the last mission? I kicked that guy's ass, didn't I? Strangely enough, Maki-chan hadn't left the office. Normally, he'd go back to the kitchen right away. Maki-chan didn't really react to Ryu's glance. But Ryu seems to have gotten something out of Maki-chan's lack of resistance.
わかった。秋山と動く。
え？
Oops, we skipped it, but we know what he said.
やったー！
リュウさん、いいんですか？
お前が何とかしろ。
うわ。
仕事だ。
はい。
俺頑張るから、ヒロシも頑張ろう。
まあ、潜入程度だし、大丈夫だとは思うけど、遊びはなしな。
はい。
Yay! I get to do unofficial work with Hiroshi. It's kind of like we're playing spies. I'm so excited. We opened up shop, and the little brother showed up relatively quickly.
こんばんは。
Yeah, he actually remembered his name? Ryu brought him over to the counter where Hiroshi was again. I could tell Hiroshi was relieved that the little brother was here, but he didn't let it show on his face.
また来るって言っておいて、間が空いちゃってごめんね。
そんなこと気にするなよ。来たい時に来てくれればいいんだからさ。
But you were totally worrying about it this whole time.
うん。ありがとう。
Even if they were just classmates originally and not friends, Hiroshi and the little brother were concerned for each other and had a well-mannered relationship. When Hiroshi asked him if he wanted anything to drink, the little brother modestly requested the same as he had last time. Hiroshi made a mojito and handed it to him. The little brother savored it and Hiroshi looked happy. Though I know you've been practicing mojitos since the last time he was here.
料理持ってくるから。
Hiroshi went into the kitchen and came right back out.
そら豆とホタテのソテーです。
ありがとう。
The little brother took bites of the dish, occasionally as he drank his mojito. I guess he'd relaxed a bit after his second class, since the little brother started to ease into the conversation.
乾さんから連絡があったんだ。兄の居場所が分かったって。
そっか、見つかったんだ。よかったな、五十嵐。
うん。
Oh, I'd expected no less of Ryu's star pupil. He's not going to tell him that he already knows, or that we helped him in the investigation.
本当にありがとう、秋山くん。あの時君に会ってなかったら、こんなに早く解決してなかったと思うんだ。
The little brother started to talk slowly as he stared into his glass.
兄がただ家を出て行ったのなら、よかったと思うよ。ずっとうちにこもりっきりだったから。でも、悪い人に騙されてるのなら、心配で。ほっときなさいって言われても、やっぱり兄弟だから。
Hiroshi just silently listened to the little brother's disjointed story.
父も母も、あまり兄については関心がなくて。だからすごく助かったのは本当なんだ。母はなぜか、小さい頃から兄ばかり叱ることが多くて。父はあまりうちにいない人で、うちのことは全部母に任せてたから。それでも、兄は頑張って大学を目指していたけど、浪人して。僕が大学に受かったら、勉強もやめて引きこもっちゃって。昔、僕にとって兄はとても頼りになる兄だったんだ。足も遅くて、人見知りだった僕をよく遊びに連れてってくれた。いつからこんな風になっちゃったんだろうな。兄をただただ責める両親に僕は何も言えなかった。僕くらい兄の味方になれればよかった。どうしてこんなことになったんだろうって最近思うんだ。誰が悪いとか思いたくなくて。本当に誰も悪くないんだ。
I mean, maybe blame your parents?
みんながみんなちょっとずつずれていってしまっただけで、だからまだやり直せるんじゃないかって。兄が戻ってきてくれたら少し兄と話してみるよ。
The moment he emptied his glass, the little brother stood up.
話を聞いてくれてありがとう。
五十嵐。
Yeah. The little brother stopped in his tracks and looked back at Hiroshi.
あのさ、また来いよな。話ならいくらでも聞くし、あとうまい飯とか酒とかもあるから。
ありがとう。
He smiled just a little bit at Hiroshi, then left. Something seemed to be weighing heavily on Hiroshi's mind after that. That said, he wasn't letting it interfere with his work. He's really a fine worker. Okay, what's going on? When midnight rolled around, Hiroshi and I went home. We're sneaking into the hideout tomorrow, so the mission team got to leave early. Mission team sounds cool. We left the bar separately after we changed in the office. Customers used the same entrance, and Hiroshi told me that the two of us leaving together would attract too much attention? What do you mean, attract attention? What does that even mean? Are customers going to see two people leaving together, and they're going to be like... I don't even know. They gasp and then what? I don't get it. What do you mean? I don't understand what that means. Hiroshi left first, then I started up the stairs. We met up in front and walked home. Yeah, I don't understand.
なあ、ハル。
何?
Hiroshi hadn't said much after the little brother left, but now he started to speak.
本人にその気がなければどうしようもないけどさ。ああ、五十嵐の兄貴の話だけど。
ん?
I thought something was on his mind this whole time. I guess it's about the older brother.
例えばオーナーの下で働くのはどうだろう。
おっさんのところでお兄さんが俺みたいに
乾さんだってもちろん誰でも採用するわけじゃないけど。
お兄さんに働いてほしいの？
うん。まあまだ乾さんにも相談してないし単なる思いつきなんだけど、働くのはきっかけでしかないっていうか、兄貴も今回の事件でいろいろ考えて自立してくれるといいんだけどな。この事件をこのまま終わらせるんじゃなくて、つまり何もなかったみたいに全部元通りにするんじゃなくて、なんかうまく言えないな。
Hiroshi scratched his head, irritated.
とにかく兄貴にも五十嵐にもいい方向に行ってほしいんだ。外の人間が感情論とか根性論を押し付けて簡単にどうこうできる問題じゃないだろうけど、根深いっていうか、五十嵐はすごいいいやつだよな。優しくて、でも優しすぎるかなって思った。俺兄貴の気持ちもちょっとだけわかる気がするんだよ。乾さん、あの人は問題児拾うの好きみたいだから兄貴の面倒も見てくれるかもって。
ヒロシも不良少年だもんね。
お前だって謎の記憶喪失野郎じゃねえか。
Hiroshi said poking me a bit, and I got him back with a little elbow jab to the side. We were kind of staggering along as a result. We may have been zigzagging a bit, but the only people out here now were drunk, so we didn't draw any attention. And then we chatted a bit, bought some food, and talked about the mission. In no time at all, we got to the point where we usually parted ways. It was fun, but time sure flew by.
じゃあ、俺も帰るから、明日寝坊すんなよ。
頑張る。おやすみ。
God, you almost sometimes forget this is a BL game if it wasn't for Haru's totally inappropriate sexual comments. I popped my shoes off and turned on the AC. After it cooled off a bit, I set the AC to turn off in an hour and rolled into bed. I set my alarm and went to sleep. Tomorrow I'm going to play spies with Hiroshi. I mean, do some serious work for my unofficial job. I should get to sleep soon so I don't oversleep. Man, I've been working too hard. My hands are getting restless. I want to do something. To Hiroshi. Oh, well. But today I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sleep without doing anything. Good night. Well, I mean, he's made his intent clear. He's going to do something. Whether Hiroshi likes it or not. I turned off my phone's alarm. It was about 8 a.m. A lot earlier than I usually get up. But I woke up on time. Alright, good job for me, attaboy. I'll get Hiroshi to praise me later. I drank some juice, did some light exercise, turned on the AC, and got a shower like I always do. I got dressed in the cool air after I got out of the shower, tied up my hair, and now it's time to go. I wonder how he'd look if he just let his hair down. Might actually be cute. I don't know. I was about to head out to the meeting spot like I was told yesterday when I stopped in my tracks.
どこだっけ？よし。
I'll call Hiroshi and ask. Hiroshi was a little frustrated when I called him, as you might expect, but he still answered my question. I headed to the location he gave me. It was a space out of the public eye. I met up with Hiroshi. God, I've seen this exact background so many times in visual novels. I met up with Hiroshi on the way there, and we just walked around idly.
歩いて行くの？
まさか。乾さんが車をよこしてくれる。運転はも。
包帯くんが？怪我はもういいの？
お前またそんな変な名前つけて。怒られるぞ。まあいいか。怪我は完治したってさ。乾さんへの報告の時に診断書持ってきたから大丈夫だろ。運転はできるし。あと店にも数日中に復帰するって。
As we chatted, a car came up and stopped next to us. We got in right away and the car drove off. Bandaged guy was in the driver's seat, just like Hiroshi had explained. Oh, but he doesn't have the bandage anymore. Mochi? His first name was Ren. I guess I'll just call him Ren now. Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that outburst of disgust. They just look terrible as all. Especially Haru. He looks like withered away. I don't know, he looks older too, not in the good way, like an old man somehow. I don't know. He just looks, they both look bad. They look despondent, and then they just look bad in general. Sorry. Ren glanced at me through the rearview mirror as we drove along. When our eyes met, he gave me a look of blatant disgust. Well, girl, I was disgusted too. Yep, he's easy to read.
そんなやつ連れてこないでくださいよ。
最初はマキさんと一緒に行動するはずだったんだよ。でも、リュウさんが OK 出したんだから仕方ねえだろ。
最初マキさんだったのにこいつに変えたんですか？だったら黒沢さんもどうかしてますよ。俺が動いてこいつに見張りさせた方がいいんじゃないですか？
俺頑張るよ。
He completely ignored me. It's totally different when we're not on our home turf.
まあ、こいつも結構いい動きするんだよ。
Is he praising me? Hiroshi said that like he felt obliged to back me up and started explaining the plan again. First of all, 2 people were living in the apartment that was being used as a secret base. Hiroshi's friend's brother and a friend of his who apparently also ran away from home. Judging from their electricity usage, they're up all night and asleep during the day. How do you have access to their electricity usage? The curtains on the windows were always shut, so we couldn't look inside. We had the floor plan of the apartment. It was a 1-bedroom suite. The brother and his friend seemed to probably know something about computers, so they probably are doing something computer-related. Once every 2 to 3 days, some shady-looking plainclothes guys would show up carrying something in and out in cardboard boxes. It usually happens between the afternoon and evening. Anyway, in the morning the people come by and are sleeping and no one will be coming by. On top of that, we decided to act at 10 AM, after most of the other residents were done leaving for workers' school. What they're doing in the hideout is probably illegal, so even if we have to resort to violence, there's a very low chance they'd go to the police. And that's what seems to be going on. We drove through town in the car. Ren's driving is actually pretty good.
五十嵐の兄貴やその友達に任せてるくらいだから、多分そんなに危険なことじゃないと思うけど。もしアジトでやっていることが危険性の高いもので、俺たちの侵入で兄貴が口封じされることが考えられる場合、すぐに兄貴の確保を行うこと。最悪、店を閉めて残りの人員も動く。
Mobilize everyone else? We're gonna have a little gang war?
お兄さんのお友達は？
一緒にいるやつは素性もよくわからないし、最悪自力で逃げられるようにしとけばいい。
わかった。
俺と春が実行部隊、望月がバックアップ。一応確認だけど、バックアップは見えないところに潜んで、中の俺たちと無線で連絡を取り合う。あと、いざって時は店に連絡。
はい。
それから春、これが合鍵。あと、マンションの間取り図と、それからこれ。
Hiroshi handed me some sneakers. They were brand new.
俺、靴下履いてきてないよ。
そんなことだろうと思ったよ。ほら。
Hiroshi handed me some new socks with them. Hiroshi was wearing sandals too, so he was also putting on socks now.
でもなんでスニーカー？
証拠が残らないようにだよ。後で捨てるから。
なるほど。
What do you mean, so you don't leave any evidence? What does that mean? What does wearing sneakers have to do with leaving evidence? After we got ready, Hiroshi grabbed a bag full of all the tools we'd need for the infiltration. Maybe raid is better and put on a wireless mic. Whoa, what is this? It looks so cool.
俺がつけたい。
嫌ですよ。
あ
あ。Hiroshi smiled wryly in response to Ren's blunt answer.
まあ、お前はこっちだけで我慢な。
Hiroshi said in a vaguely comforting tone as he handed me an earbud. Hiroshi's always so nice. I put it in and Hiroshi put one on too.
人が来たり異変があったら、 外にいる望月から連絡が入るから速やかに脱出すること。
ラジャ
I gave it a snappy salute, and his sharp eyes pierced me. Renren really hates me, doesn't he? We got out of the car just a little ways away from the apartment complex where the hideout was located. Renren left the car in an area where he could move it easily without it looking suspicious. Then he took a position where he could keep an eye on the door of the hideout.
安い古いマンションのおかげで個室のドアまで見えて助かったな。いろいろケチるとろくなことにならないってね。いいか、無理だけはすんなよ。深追いもなしな。目的は五十嵐の兄貴たちが一体何をやってるかをつかむこと。よし、じゃあ行くぞ。
Alright guys, I think that's where I'll end this video for today though. We're gonna find out how their raid goes next time. Hopefully, I mean I keep saying it, I say it every episode, hopefully Haru will finally just act on his impulses. But we'll see.